It's the year 2009. Great games are launching left and right, but I'm not playing any of them. No. I'm not playing any of them because screw that. I'm busy getting a job, finding a house, doing big boy stuff. But today, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed 2, which was released in 2009. Because you see, I finally got this sexy little beast on my PlayStation 4 a few weeks back, played it, beat it. It was good. It was great even. Now let me tell you my tale of what I love and what I hate about this little gem. Now you don't need me to explain why this is a great game, really. A quick look over at Metacritic will show you some great scores. Not Game of the Year great, but still up there. Like after 20 or so titles. But that's not the game's fault. Developers were like popping pills or something that year and cranking out big hit one after the other. I really don't understand what was going on this year. So getting right into it, you pop in the game and that first song you hear is just a magical experience to your ears. If you haven't heard it before, it goes something like this. You have vocals, violin, that chilling melody that's both tragic yet hopeful. It's beautiful. If someone asks you what beauty sounds like, you put this music in their ears. You just shove it in there, and you tell them to shut their face and appreciate that they were born in a time where they could listen to this masterpiece. I believe in giving credit where it's due, so shout out to you, Jesper Kid, or Kide. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce your name. Anyways, he's the composer of this track. If you ever see this man on the streets, you give him a high five or a kiss. I don't really care. Whatever doesn't get you arrested because, so good. Next thing I came to love in this game were the characters. Now within minutes of being introduced to Ezio, I loved him.
Self-expression is vital to understanding and enjoying life. You should find an outlet.
I have plenty of outlets.
I meant besides vaginas.
Mother.
He's got that ruggish Han Solo swagger to him, but still has a moral code, and that obligation to do the right thing for his family. Even if that means slaughtering all their enemies in cold blood, but hey, that doesn't matter, it's honor. People wouldn't understand anymore. Anyways, he's also got some great lines, great attitude, he's just an all-around lovable guy. Now standing by him in this cast is the fantastic Caterina Sforza, also known as the Countess of Forli, or even better known as the woman who cusses the invading forces like hell.
You're not afraid of me. You will be when I come up there and cut your heads off, piece down your necks, and shove your faces up my pica!
So it turns out she is actually based on an actual Caterina Sforza who was born in 1462. To quote badassoftheweek.com, Caterina Sforza was an ultra-tough, mean-ass, tyrannical ruler who dominated faces in the 15th century. Refused to back down from any challenge no matter how impossible, never registered fear, and went out of her way to ensure that everyone who crossed her wound up suffering slow, excruciating, and horrific deaths by her vengeful hands. Now you think a description like that fits a woman who looks like this? Neither would I, but apparently that's what Terra looks like. Just look at those eyes. Those eyes don't give a shit about you. Those eyes will cut you. Next, let me talk to you about the setting. As you probably know, this game takes place in Italy, around the 16th century. At first, I didn't really care that much about it. Then a friend points out a building in Florence commenting, "Hey, I visited that when I was touring Europe." I thought that was kind of cool, so I start going around the building asking how accurate it was, to which they replied, "It's exactly like that." I think this moment made me appreciate the game's setting a little more. Then after that we get introduced to key figures like Leonardo da Vinci, go to more touristy places like Venice. So by this point in the game you're probably starting to go on autopilot. Your brain isn't thinking about playing the game anymore, it's just doing it automatically. Climb the building, open the chest, search for next thing on the map, go to it, climb the thing, open the chest, kill the guard. So once you hit this state, your mind starts to wander. Start asking yourself things like, why aren't there roads in Venice? Why did they build this city here on the water? Why is there so much Christianity everywhere? Why do I stand out so much if I'm supposed to be an assassin? And then it gets real. Then you leave the game. You actually pause the game and leave your couch, or maybe you pull out your phone. Either way, you start seeking for answers. And those answers, lead to more questions, and more answers, and more questions. I kid you not. I spent literally an afternoon bouncing around one Wikipedia page to another, learning all about 16th century politics, trade routes, technology, all because of this game. Now, I can't say I regret it either. Did you know that the first flushable toilet was created in the 16th century thanks to a guy named Mr. John Harrington? Many will tell you it was actually Mr. Thomas Crapper in the 18th century, but no, Mr. Crapper only made it mainstream. So hold up a moment. Think about this. 500 years ago, a man invents a system to empty a bowl of piss and shit from your home automatically, and no one bats an eye. Back then, you dump your junk in a pot that had to be discarded by a person, and nobody thought, hey, we should change this, until 200 years later. In cities, people would dump these old chamber pots out their windows. Imagine walking around town trying to dodge piss and shit raining from the balconies because these people couldn't embrace the work of Mr. Harrington. They'd rather toss their shit around. It's disgusting. So glad we have flushable toilets now. So anyways, while we're on the topic of settings and shit, let's talk about something I hated about this game. First thing was going back to the modern day. You know, let's spend all this time running around cool landscapes in a badass outfit with some badass weapons, and then suddenly just wake up in a damn office to talk to Lucy and listen to some douchebag in the corner over there complain about his modern problems. It's absolute whiplash. I understand why it's there, and I get that it ties in the whole franchise together, but I still hate it. Okay, now back to things I love. The villa upgrade system. I love it when a game gives you the sense of progress, and the villa upgrade system delivers. When you assassinate someone, their portrait goes up in a hidden room. When you buy a painting, it goes to your painting room. You buy any weapon or armor, it gets added to your collection that you can visit in the villa. There's even an architect that you can pay to upgrade buildings in town. Naturally, all this goes towards increasing your progress bars and helping you gain better stuff for your character. On top of all that useful stuff, the villa visibly improves as you invest in it, going from a rundown, abandoned building to the envy of Italy. Even more on top of that, the game rewards your efforts to improve the building by rewarding you with higher and higher payouts of in-game currency every 20 minutes. It's a fantastic invest reward upgrade system that keeps me hooked to complete everything and see that bar hit 100%. But that 100% probably won't ever happen because of two things: glyphs and those damn feathers. So there's a bunch of stuff you can collect in this game, and most of it can be eventually tracked on your map, except for two types of collectibles: feathers and glyphs. Now there are 20 glyphs hidden in the game that each reveal a little bit of something called the truth. Hell if I know what that is. And then there's 100 feathers also scattered around the world for you to find. The only way for you to find them is by literally running around and trying to listen for that little shiny sound indicating a collectible nearby. Or you could use your eagle vision to make them stand out. But when you're using eagle vision, your map gets deactivated. So then you're running around in circles because you're on rooftops and it all looks the same. This is just stupid and I hate it. I love this game and I happily invested dozens of hours into it, but to be able to find the last remaining collectibles, I'd probably be looking at another dozen hours easily of wandering around and aimlessly trying to find these, and that's just not fun. Oh, but you can just use a walkthrough, dumbass, you might be thinking there, sitting in your chair. No, shut your face, that's stupid. If I have to play a game with a tablet or phone in my lap that displays a map of where these collectibles are, then just put it in the damn game. Make me work for it through a quest or by having to buy a ridiculously expensive map. I don't care, but having to rely on a walkthrough to achieve 100% completion in a reasonable amount of time is just stupid to me. And furthermore, listen to this. This game is rated M for mature. That means that the target audience for this game are adults. The one demographic that has the least amount of time to spare. So why would you go and put a game mechanic that's just a huge time suck with so little reward to it? I hate it, it's dumb, and I refuse to waste time on it. Now, I quickly mentioned that shiny sound that collectibles make. You know, it's like a little whisper that catches you off guard as you're running around town. I just want to note that I love that. I love the little whispers. So many times while running around, I'd stop after barely hearing that tingle sound and would start searching the area for a collectible. It added a level of fun to the whole game, and maybe the game wanted to let players use their other senses to find things, but it just didn't work that well. Asking me to run around these massive cities listening for 100 feathers is just too tedious for my taste. Lastly, there's just one other thing I hate about this game. Most of the time, climbing walls and jumping rooftops works just fine. And other times, no. Oh, damn it. I'm HeyJay, and this is why I loved and hated Assassin's Creed 2. Be sure to like and subscribe for more things I love and hate, and I'll see you guys next time.